wake up around 5:10, 5:20 in the morning. We get there probably around 5:45-ish. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I got lifting at 6 o'clock in the morning, so do my treatment for a little bit, and then I start to do my my workouts. The workout's probably 30 to 45 minutes. So from 6 to 6:45, we're working out, putting in that work to get bigger and stronger for the season. From 7 to 8:10, we have meetings. And then from 8:10 to 8:30, we got to get ready for practice. By 8:45, we're on the field ready to go. And from 8:45 to 11:30, we have practice. You know, brutal couple hours. After that, go to lunch from 11:45, 11:50. I got tutoring on Mondays and Thursdays from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And I got class after that. So grab something to eat, go back to the stadium and watch film. Get out of that probably around 8:45. Then I got studying, go to sleep around 11, 11:30, and then wake up and start my whole day again at 5:45.
Hello, and welcome to our presentation on the power of mentorship. So first, we're going to talk a little bit about the history of the academic mentoring program here at ASU Athletics. So originally, the Office of Student Athlete Development, they provided study hall hours and tutors outside the classroom for their student athletes. Unfortunately, they realized their student athletes' needs were way more dynamic than just this. So they realized their students, they weren't productive in study hall, and just by prescribing study hall hours doesn't necessarily mean someone's going to get something done. So they took some time, did some hard thinking, and realized that they needed to do a lot more. So in 2004, they came up with the design for the graduation risk overview and established it in the 2005-2006 academic year. It was developed in-house here at ASU as a tool to determine student athletes' specific needs. This eventually took off to an even broader landscape on a national level in 2010 when Gene Boyd, now Executive Senior Associate Athletic Director, he worked with the NCAA to develop a comprehensive program for others to use, and the entire process is based on the graduation risk overview. Graduation risk overview is a dynamic, real-time assessment of individual student athletes and their risk of not graduating. Academic coaches here in the Office of Student Athlete Development are required to evaluate their incoming and returning student athletes each semester. A point system is used as a benchmark to identify student athletes' academic risk level, and they are assigned an academic risk level accordingly. Here we have an example of a GROW assessment that the academic coaches here at Arizona State use to evaluate their student athletes. One of the obvious things that they use to evaluate their students is their GPA. Granted, there's much more to a student athlete than just their GPA, so they take into account other specific areas that pose risk factors for the student athletes, such as do they ID strongly as an athlete? Do they just simply not like classes? Do they not like the classes they're in? Other things taken into account are they a transfer student, because we know it's not easy to walk into a new university and assimilate to the new culture and how things are done here. Other things that are really important to the academic coaches are, their home situation. What's their personal life like? Are they a first-generation student? Are they homesick? Have they been battling an injury? So things like this is what the academic coaches really look at, and it's really a comprehensive approach to evaluate their student athletes and their risk level. Next, we will hear from a student athlete who had a rough time his first semester, but he was able to, find his way around and do a little bit better the next time.
Through the mentoring.
Through the mentoring program.
So starting out, I thought I was gonna have it under control, grades, time management, all that schedule. Moving into the semester, I realized I was really unorganized. Like, time management was all over the place, wasn't getting homework done. And then once baseball started up, like, my schedule got really busy, stopped going to class. I mean, just dug myself in a huge hole, and I mean, it was really hard to dig out of it, so.
Okay.
Within the Office of Student Athletic Development, there is a 3-tier approach to helping their athletes be successful in college. Academic coaches help students progress toward degrees and graduate. Tutors help with specific materials. Mentors are there for targeted support for student athletes that need help with organizational skills, motivation, note-taking, time management, being held accountable. Also within these mentors are grad students who are more specialized with the high-risk red level students. Within these mentors, we have retired educators, teachers, professionals, and grad students all working together to help our athletes. On the next slide, we are going to listen to an interview with John Irwin, one of the academic coaches here at Arizona State University.
Short answer?
Yeah.
Everything? No, we do. Our primary goal, or primary task, I guess, is to make sure that all the student athletes that we work with are progressing towards a degree for graduation, and graduating, really, for that matter. With that comes a lot of extra little responsibilities and pieces that kind of go, through that. From helping to recruit, from dealing with classes and class schedules, from doing travel letters, from being just a general mentor of life to working with our championship life program and the life skills that go along with that, and helping set up and help our students go through there, to tutoring math on the occasional night.
Now we're going to talk about current numbers within the OSAD department. The program serves on average about 625 student athletes at any given semester. The NCAA's recommendation for ratio of academic coaches to student athletes is 1 to 150 students. Here at ASU, we have a 1 to 88 student ratio, helping us to earn our 10th straight semester of a GPA over 3.0. Along with this, we've also got our all-time high GSR of 87% and an all-time high of APR in the 2014-2015 school year of 985 out of 1,000.
So to touch a little bit more on GSR, or the graduation success rate, first off, it was established in 2002 by the NCAA. It's very simple. It's very similar to the federal graduation rate, or FGR, in that it takes a look at student athletes and gives them a 6-year window to complete their undergraduate degree. One of the big differences, though, it only takes into account the student athletes who came in on any type of athletic aid as an incoming freshman for the university which they started at. And one of the big things that GSR is able to really reflect is that there's so much mobility for student athletes within intercollegiate athletics, because students, they transfer or they go on to play professionally, so schools aren't penalized for those incidences towards our graduation success rate. So if we take a look at ASU's GSR to the right here, they've done a great job of improving their rate. They started off at a really low 69%, dropped all the way down to about 67, and then have from there just steadily climbed and made all the way to 87%, and that's pretty good. In addition to GSR, another metric that the NCAA uses is APR, or Academic Progress Rate. So this one was established in 2003 by the NCAA, and this one is a more accurate, updated snapshot of student athlete success and their progress towards a degree. So this calculation involves taking a look at student athletes' academic eligibility, or their academic standing within the university, as well as whether they are able to retain their student athletes throughout the year. So another important piece to APR is that there are penalties involved if you don't achieve the certain benchmark that is established by the NCAA, which is a 930 rating. As you can see to the right, Arizona State has done a good job of steering clear from that and have hovered around 980 for the last couple of years now and are looking to continue to do good things.
So let's talk about some outcomes and purposes of the OSAD department. The OSAD vision is to serve as the model for comprehensive student-athlete development, cultivating Sun Devils for life who dream big, maximize their potential, and impact their world. The Office of Student Athletic Development's mission is to provide services, programming, and guidance that foster academic success, development of critical life skills, graduation. They do all of this through their mentoring and tutoring program with the support of the academic coaches and the grad students. When asked about her ideas of outcomes and purposes for the OSAD department, Andrea Lohr, Associate AD for OSAD, had this to say: "We believe our program is critical to a student-athlete's success and development. It allows students to engage in their weaknesses and improve upon them. Ultimately, we want them to become self-sustaining individuals who are prepared for life after their sport."
So when taking a look at ASU and comparing them to other institutions' mentoring programs, we found they're very similar in their ideals and the way they set up their programming for their students. One thing that we found that amplifies that is student engagement is essential to student success and student outcomes. And mentoring programs are one example of an initiative that can create a student-focused culture. We also took a look at some major keys that help mentoring programs work within an institution. So some things that were very important are things like having your students be assigned to mentors who are not only faculty or staff, but including higher ups such as the college president, deans, of that nature. This allows faculty and staff to get to know the students they are serving. Another thing that's important is that students are matched randomly with faculty and staff members that are outside of their curriculum interests so they can avoid a conflict of interest with their program of study. It's also important to have mentor and mentee assignments take root during orientation or within the first few weeks of school, so that way they're able to develop their relationship right from the start of the semester and are able to build a good rapport with each other. It's also very vital that mentors, they're trained properly because if they're unable to or unequipped to handle certain situations, their students will have trouble confiding within them or knowing whether or not they are there for them to be able to provide them with the correct answers and resources that they do need to be successful. On the other side, some college mentoring programs, they tend to fail, which is unfortunate, and this is typically a result of faculty or administrators and staff them not buying into what the program is really designed for. So that's very unfortunate when that does happen. And also when you see that your faculty and staff who are standing in as mentors, they're not properly trained. And like I said, this is a problem as it makes it hard for them to provide their students with the proper resources that they need.
Now we are going to hear from a freshman international student athlete who is currently in the mentoring program. I, as her mentor, have been working closely with her since the first week of school.
My mentor helps me to organize my homeworks and my management, manage my time with every class and force me to study. It's good.
And you have a tutor?
Yes.
And how are the tutor experience going?
She helps me to do all my assignments and my homework and study for the tests. It really helps me.
Okay. Would you recommend to other international students to have a mentor?
Yes, because when I arrived here at the beginning of the semester, I was a little bit lost with everything, and my mentor and my tutor helped me to organize and understand how everything works. Yes, I recommend.
What is it like to be a mentor? I've been mentoring for about a year and a half here at Arizona State University. When I first came, I wasn't entirely sure what a mentor's job was. However, after working with several different sports, I realized that it's a all-inclusive job. You help them with their organization, their time management, their lives sometimes. Sometimes they need just somebody to talk to. You need to make sure that you have a good relationship with your mentee. If you don't get along with them, it doesn't work. There's a lot of trust involved when dealing with mentees and mentors.
Personally, this is my second year in the field. Originally, I had no intentions of doing, any sort of type of work, working with students or student athletes for that matter. But really, I fell in love with the opportunity after working at Villanova in my first year out of college. Just working with student athletes one-on-one and seeing them grow just from their first year was amazing. And just, watching them be on the way to really achieving their full potential. That's kind of, the end goal that we all seek when doing this type of work, working one-on-one with students. So translate now to, fast forward to ASU here. It's a whole different perspective for me. I work with some of our most at-risk student athletes here, probably the Reds of the Reds, but that's okay. It's a challenge for myself and also a challenge for them. I do my best to push them and challenge themselves to, really engage in their deficiencies and understand that they don't have to have all the answers right now, but, we're here right there with them, walking them through day by day to help them, better themselves so that they can be ready for, life after college or their sport if they do have the opportunity to go on and play after school. And really what the whole mentoring program, we believe that it embodies is around the whole theme of access versus success. So yes, certainly you can, give an individual access to higher education, but in this day and age doesn't necessarily mean that much if you're not going to do anything to ensure that they succeed. So what's really important is that you have individualized plans and give them individualized attention, especially to at-risk students who had poor K-12 experiences, and kind of in a sense level the playing field and give them the opportunity to really believe in themselves and understand, even though yes they might have limitations, but they can do it with a little hard work and a little extra effort on top that some of us don't necessarily want to push through, but we give them that confidence to push through that. So it's really a great opportunity. I highly recommend it for those who are within the field and you're looking to to make a change within their university to help with retention rates. I think is very effective, especially when you have a student. From my perspective, when I was a student, I remember if someone in the classroom or someone in that university truly cared about my success, I was more driven to apply myself, and definitely there are some results with that. So that's kind of our big overarching belief on the mentoring program, and ASU does a good job of embodying all of that.
So through this experience of looking at different data and information about the mentoring program and figuring out how to put it on a video, I've learned that it is super important what we do as mentors and tutors. I think that Manny and I both have a new perspective of how much work goes into all of what we do.
Yeah, definitely to expand upon that. I think what we do, we're the ones who are on the ground working with the students every day. Yes, certainly it comes from the top down, but we all play an integral part in these student athletes succeeding and achieving that degree is what our ultimate goal is. But furthermore, it's important that they leave here with what we call kind of the light bulb going off. It sounds pretty simple, but a lot of them, they walk in here and they don't really understand the opportunity that they are given.
They're here to play sports.
Yes.
They're not here for school.
Yes.
They're here to play.
Yes, unfortunately, that is a reality for a handful of our student athletes here. But through the mentoring program and other program that we provide, whether it be through Champ Life, which is a life skills program, we try to get the student athletes to understand that there is more to life than just sport, and sport is going to end for them at some point in their life, and they have to be ready for that. So that's where we come in to try and help them understand that they need to really apply themselves to having a better understanding of and be prepared for life after sport.
And it's a very fun job and rewarding and entertaining at times.
Very entertaining.
Thank you for listening to our presentation and watching our video.